y'all, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I'm Taylor Lauren, and on my channel I talk a little bit about everything. I talk about pageantry, home, beauty, wedding planning, childcare, just a little bit of everything. And today's video is going to be a pageant video, and we are going to be talking about smiling and how to smile on stage and in the interview room more comfortably, consistently, and naturally. Different ways to smile. Do you always have to have a big smile on your face? All that kind of stuff. So let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is I always try to start these videos off with why the topic is important. So I want to kick it off with talking about why smiling is important and what makes it difficult. Smiling is important in the competition, at your pageant, on stage, in the interview room, wherever. It's important because it makes you look personable and it makes you look like you're having fun and that you want to be there. And judges want to crown someone who wants the title and who seems to be enjoying herself throughout the whole process. The main way to tell that someone is happy is by their facial expressions and by them smiling. Now, what makes this difficult is smiling for such long periods of time, and this is not just in pageantry, this is applicable to like competition dance and cheerleading and like things in that arena. What makes smiling so hard is the amount of time that you have to smile continually. And the thing is, we're just not used to smiling in those blocks of time. We in everyday life we tend to smile spontaneously, but when you have to smile for like 6 hours straight for a pageant, it's a different story. So that's what makes it hard, is the demand to continuously smile for a specific period of time, whether it's pageant weekend or pageant week. Not to mention kind of the mental demand of remembering to smile with everything else that's going on at a pageant, right? So that is why it's important, and that's what makes it difficult. So, what I want to talk about today is things that you can do to help you smile comfortably, naturally, and consistently. So, the first tip is comfortability, making smiling comfortable. And the thing about smiling comfortable is we kind of put smiling on the back burner, like it's something that we know how to do, but knowing how to do something and mastering doing something are two different things. So do not put smiling on the back burner of your preparation. It is just as important as everything else. It's just as important as your wardrobe, as your walk and your stage presence, as your hair and your makeup. It's not about one being more important than the other. It is important to know your strengths and your weaknesses, but it is still about being the total package, and you do not want to neglect any area of your preparation. So I think what makes most girls uncomfortable with smiling is that they just don't practice it enough, okay? And that is the equivalent of like if not smiling and then expecting yourself to smile for the entire competition is like not working out for months and then picking a day to work out very, 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 very hard. You're going to be very, very sore and very, very tired and very, very uncomfortable. That is what you're doing to your face when you do not practice smiling and when you do not incorporate it into your prep. And I know this firsthand. Oh, excuse me. I know this firsthand because smiling was very, very hard for me when I first started competing. It just felt fake. It didn't feel natural, and I didn't really know how to fix it. It took me a long time to kind of figure out these tips and to master them. And I didn't really take it seriously until I started investing in a coach. So don't be like me. Don't learn the hard way. Take these tips, take them to heart, okay? So the first thing that you can do to get more comfortable with smiling is literally, you guys, warm up your face. do facial exercises. This is the same thing that actors and singers do. Like this is a part of your performance. So it needs to be warmed up and it needs to be prepared, okay? So facial exercises, this is perfect to do when you first wake up in the morning, when you're winding down, okay? And this is important and this is going to be helpful because you're holding your face like this for hours when you compete. And if these muscles in your face, your cheeks, your forehead, your jawline, if they're not used to being worked out and stretching and expanding and being heightened in that way, they're going to be sore and they're going to be hurt. And we all have had that feeling of getting on stage literally for 30 seconds and smiling, and your eye starts twitching, your lips and your cheeks start quivering, and you're wondering if you look as crazy as you feel. And then you get nervous and then you stop smiling altogether. But if you do this stuff on a regular basis, then you can avoid that when you get on stage and when you get in the interview room. So the first thing we want to do is make smiling more comfortable. And by doing facial exercises, we become more comfortable with smiling for long periods of time and working those teeny tiny muscles in our face that are needed for smiling. Okay, so next I want to move on to making smiling look more natural. And this also involves a mirror. And this is really playing around with your poses, okay? So you want to have some life, when you're on stage, when you're smiling. You don't want to be pageant patty, you don't want to be robotic, right? You just don't want to be like, you want to have some life. You want to be able to give a smize every now and then. Like, you don't always have to have a full white teeth smile. If your jaw gets tired, it's okay to relax and to just, have a pleasant closed smile. What I like to do is open and close. I love to do that on stage because I don't have the strongest facial muscles, I guess. So I have to move my face a lot within me smiling. So you want to get in the mirror and play with, what you feel like looks best and what looks most natural on you. Really from the neck up, from your décolleté up. I like to move my neck a lot and go like back and forth. I love scanning my judges out in the audience and kind of like trying to see the last seat and then bringing it back down to my judges because I love to show off my neck. I think I have a very, very pretty neck. So just different things like that, just playing around, with your shoulders. Try some over the shoulder smiling and things like that. This is also very, very helpful for headshots and getting those, perfect poses in your headshots too. So you want to play around in the mirror with smiling from the neck up to kind of see what your good angles are and where you feel most confident and most beautiful. I would also recommend video recording yourself with your phone or something, just kind of moving around and posing because you want to look ethereal and you want to look like you're floating while you're smiling. You just kind of want your face to change effortlessly, and still have, some life to it. Okay? So, now for the last tip, smiling consistently. This is probably the easiest one, and it's just smiling more in your everyday life. Whether you feel like you smile a lot already or not enough, just smiling more, making a greater effort to smile more in everyday life. And this was probably the most conscious tip for me. When you're talking to people, when you're listening to people, even just, being more hospitable to strangers on the street, which is very normal here in Atlanta, just smiling and waving at people. Like, if you are in the South, this is probably the easiest thing that you can do to make you feel more comfortable smiling and to smile more consistently. Something else that I would do is I would think a happy thought and it would make me smile, and I would hold that smile for 15 to 20 seconds, probably like the amount of time that you're typically on stage for swimsuit or evening gown or whatever category it is, less than a minute. So yeah, you guys, I hope that these tips were helpful. They're very practical, but they're also very self-conscious and thought-provoking things that you have to be disciplined to do, and they really, force you to think about your outer beauty and the parts of your outer beauty that you want to display. So like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you want to see down below, and do not forget that you are a queen. The crown just doesn't know it yet. And I will see you in the next video.